Hello, everyone. Welcome to LexTalk World Talk Show presented by ClickAway Creators. Today, we have Sharmila K.R with us. Sharmila is a committed and result-driven senior legal professional with over 20 years of legal experience spanning varied sectors, law firms, non-banking financial services company, private sector banks, hospitality, real estate, residential, retail, commercial, and land banking. She has proven expertise in protecting the core interest of the company through complex and challenging situations. She has earlier worked for the Brigade Group, one of the top 10 construction companies in India, heading the retail, legal, and also effectively concluded about 200 leasing transactions for one of the most prestigious retail malls in India, which is the Orion Mall. Sharmila has been chosen as a panel speaker at the Global Legal Conference held at New York, London, and Delhi. In addition to the legal responsibilities, she has also worked as the editor in chief for the online publications of various companies, where she worked for and has written extensively on various topics. There's a lot more to talk about her, but now, without any further ado, let's dive in to know more about her. Hello, Sharmila. Thank you for joining us. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. And thanks for that nice introduction, Raima.
The pleasure is all ours. And thank you for joining us.
Sure, it's my pleasure too.
Okay, Sharmila. So now please tell us briefly about your background and your role as an in-house counsel for the last 2 decades and in various industry and especially in the real estate industry.
Yeah, Raima, I think I finished my law way back in the 90s. And after finishing law, my first assignment was joining a law firm. And I think, unfortunately, I worked only for 8 months in the law firm. And for a peculiar reason, I shifted to corporate because I got married to a person working there and they said husband and wife shouldn't work at the same firm. Those days I was questioning, why is it so? But now I think it's all common. But they wanted me to take up corporate because they thought I had a strong language and good communication skills and all that. So I joined Sterling Holiday Financial Services. And strangely, I joined merchant banking and it's got nothing to do with legal. So it was a very challenging role there. For about 4.5 years, I worked in merchant banking. I did, public issue management, then portfolio, Forex and all that. After 4.5 years in Sterling, meanwhile, I had also completed my MBA Finance. And then I joined ICICI Bank for in the recovery department. So 2 years in recovery, and then I went to Brigade. See, those days, what I want to tell here is nowadays in-house counsels, if you're stuck in one particular industry, it's only the same industry which is going to offer you jobs because you can't shift industries that easily. So somebody somewhere, there has to be a mentor who think that, okay, she'll be able to perform in other industries as well, which is a very rare phenomenon now because they don't give you such opportunities. So those days, I was interviewed by the now Brigade Group chairman, Mr. Shankar, and he said, okay, you're from a banking background, but still I'll give you real estate projects. Like nobody will be telling that now. So I joined Brigade Group and then the rest was history. Like I just worked for 1.5 years and I finished from end to end. See, that is where I learned from the doyen of real estate industry. Actually, he's one of the, I think Brigade is one of the top 5 construction companies in India. And I was straightly under his tutelage. So that helped me a lot. So I learned from end to end documentation. He never thought I was a newbie. I was from banking or NBFC. And straight, like he just led me into the jungle and it was all ordeal by fire. So I just learned, I tumbled, I fell and I rose again. Like that, I learned and I finished about 7 residential projects and few commercial projects in 1.5 years. Then I just took a break due to personal reasons. My in-laws passed, my mother-in-law passed away. And so I thought, okay, home is also important. So I just took a 2-year break, but then I thought I was doing very small residential projects. So again, I got back to Brigade in 2007. So 2007 to 14, I again joined Brigade and I handled the prestigious projects like Orion Mall, like you have mentioned. And that was a magnum opus for me. Like it was handling 175 retail deals all alone. And I did very well there. And after 7 years, again, I wanted to take a break due to personal reasons. And then I joined another company called Cornerstone Properties, where I'm currently working. But that company is all about huge land banking transactions. So only in Cornerstone, I think I went and I got selected as a panel speaker and I spoke in conferences across the globe. So though, see, real estate industry is very particular to particular region, but I thought, okay, let me not stick only to one particular law. So I did research in other laws because I am interested in general research as well. So anti-corruption laws, then comparative study of anti-corruption laws, FCPA and all that I did. And I spoke in New York and Law Society of England and Wales, London, and Delhi as well in Indian Habitat Center. So that in short is my profile.
Thank you, Sharmila. Thank you for answering that question beautifully. It was lovely. And now we would also like to know about any complex issues you have worked on and also the complexity. And please tell us how you have approached it.
Yeah, Rema, actually, I think property lawyers, it's one lucky thing we have is that it's not a routine job. So every day we're not going to just come and do some data entry or just, okay, we have some fixed formats, we do it. For property lawyers, I think I learned from Mr. Jaishankar of Brigade Group, that every property is it's a new venture. And what are the challenges which is going to come there? What are the loopholes which are there? We have to really study and work hard and then apply. It's a lot of application of mind here. So every property deal is a challenge. And whenever in the real estate industry, what in-house legal counsels have to do is that the property should be free of litigation. And even after, because hundreds of crores will be spent depending on your opinion, we go ahead and say to the management, yes, you can go ahead and sign this deal. Supposing somebody like out of the blue files a case and everything comes to a standstill. So I think legal is fundamental, the very edifice of the entire transaction. So we have to really be very vigilant and look out for, it has to be a hassle-free transaction. So my most challenging, every deal, every residential, I think I've completed end-to-end more than 25 projects in residential, in commercial, in hospitality, all the the prestigious niche projects like in Bangalore, like everything. Maybe I was lucky enough to handle all those niche assignments in Brigade as well as Cornerstone. They're really huge. Okay, so as an individual lawyer, I would not be able to handle because maybe that will go to all top tier firms. But I made it a point that whenever I'm there in the company, like only I do all the documentation. I don't go to an external. I think that's my forte. I think that's what has carried me this far because I don't like to do much coordination job. So I put everything on my head. And the most challenging was, of course, Orion, because even I never thought that I'll be able to handle it because 175 deals and retailers spread all across Gurgaon and Mumbai. And I was a sole lawyer with no other external counsel, plus just one person from marketing and my secretary. And we just finished 8.5 lakh square feet of leasing. Even I don't know whether I'll be able to do it. Day in and day for 3 years, I was doing only the lease deals and everything, not only the lease documentation, but whatever happened in the mall, the kiosks, the PVRs, it was 11 screen PVR. So individually, I handled that also. We went to, all those meetings which we did with Tata Group, with Zara, with PVR. I went all alone traveling. My travel started there only in Brigade. So we completed everything and without a single rectification of any of those lease documents. I think that was my greatest challenge. And even I don't know whether I'll be able to repeat that.
Even if you say that it was a greatest challenge, but still you managed it so beautifully, Sharmila.
Yeah, because it's a humongous documentation. Like I even counted like some 25,000 sheets we had printed, and we took a lot of pride in not engaging an external counsel. So that way I saved a lot of external costs for my company. So I think that was my most prestigious. After that also I handled some in like a Brigade Cornerstone Utopia. That's a running project. Very strangely, when I went to Cornerstone again, I had to handle Brigade. So that documentation also. I started handling bigger land transactions. This was retail. Again, I went back to hardcore land banking transactions. So like Brigade Cornerstone Utopia, like I said, and then Embassy Cornerstone Tech Valley. All those huge projects which involves like hundreds of acres, the main documentation. I think I started specializing in some complex documentation. So it just took me, and that is why I think seeing my LinkedIn profile, I was called and I was chosen as a panel speaker and also I didn't expect that. I never aimed for anything. That's the beauty of my life. I think it just came and maybe I took the opportunity. That's what I advise the youngsters. So when somebody's calling you to speak in New York, like you just hesitate and then there goes the chance. Like you have to be brave. You have to seize the opportunity because opportunity comes only once in your life. So people have to take it. That's what I feel. Because I had no mentors except, of course, Mr. Jaishankar from Brigade Group, Mr. Kumar Babu from Cornerstone. These are my promoters, and they trusted me with big documentations. And not even the external, so they gave it to me. So that also, because somebody has to really believe in you, and the confidence they had is much more than the confidence I had in myself. So that kind of mentors you need. because everybody talks only about experience, because everything there is a first time. Like somebody has to give the opportunity for them to prove, See, even freshers, it's very difficult to get jobs. Like, so everybody says experience, but somebody has to give you that first time opportunity so that you can go out and prove myself. So that way I was very lucky that I had very good bosses and who thought of, okay, Sharmila can do it, so we'll just give it to her. So that kind of mentor you definitely need. So in that way, I was lucky, I guess.
Thank you, Sharmila, for answering that question again. And now, please also tell us about the challenges faced by in-house real estate councils. How do you overcome that?
Yeah, see, in-house, I think present it's evolved. See, I was also, I think 15 years I've been in the real estate industry, maybe 4 years in banking. So over the years, I think legal function has evolved. Before it was only a support center. Okay, the main will be like the finance or the sales or that. But now I think it's evolved so much, and I think legal guys even control the way business functions. Like ultimately, it is our decision, because marketing would like to close the deal, and then we will say like, okay, these issues are there, and then again the time is also a challenge, because they give some complex documents and then they say, okay, if you don't do it by the end of the day, then this deal is going to go. But for us, the due diligence is much more important than whether the time factor, because time will always be a challenge. So we'll always be at loggerheads with other departments saying that we need this much time. So the documentation is just not the cut and paste work. So you have to apply so much of brains, and it is like every deal is different. So if the legal guys go wrong, then the company suffers in terms of money. So we have to be, the challenge I feel is completing the documentation in time. Sometimes they give us impossible deadlines, which we will always fight. For us, it's the quality, that is more important. So anything goes wrong, but they want the document. So they say, no, tomorrow then the deal is gone. So we will that time fight with the management. We'll say, no, we require this time. And so that is a challenge. And for property lawyers, how much of a due diligence you do, because sometimes they want this property, it's like that. So, but we will have to protest and say, no, all these risks are there. If you want, you take it. So that the ultimate call is left to the management. I think most challenging is, I feel, that the time constraints and the cooperation which comes from the other departments. So they have to understand that legal is a complex, documentation is a complex task, and time has to be given to the lawyers. So we can't adhere to some impossible deadlines. I think that's the challenge.
Thank you, Sharmila. I'm sure this is going to help so many people out there.
Yeah.
And now with that, what advice you will give to the budding lawyers who are really interested in joining as in-house counsels in the real estate industry?
Yes, Rema, I think we all have to accept the fact, because I came from a non-legal background. So I didn't have anybody in my family as lawyers and all that. So maybe we were in the right place at the right time. And like I said, I got the acquaintance of Mr. Jai Shankar, and he promoted me, and Mr. Kumar Babu also did that. But for somebody other than who are, the like chip of the old block or Sion, like everybody else had to climb from the bottom, the climb is, by the time you became vice president, I think it takes about 15 to 20 years. Unless like you are the daughter or son of the promoters, then overnight you can, maybe a few years you can become directors. So for everybody else, the climb is uphill. So I would advise that you don't get dissipated in the midway. You have to have a lot of patience, like always. It might sound cliche, but you need to have the discipline, dedication, and the perseverance. And you should have that macro goal in front of you. Yes, like I will not give up come what may, especially for women, like marriage, childbirth, in-laws, all that happens, and people should not give up. Like even if you take a break, I feel like me, you can always come back. So be strong in the fundamentals, be diligent, and do your hard work. And I think the world is going to sit up and notice. That's what I feel.
Thank you so much, Sharmila, for answering that question as well. Yeah. And now, last but not the least, what you think are the traits required to succeed and make a mark in this field? And any particular advice for women who choose to enter this field?
Yeah, definitely, Raima. See, like I said earlier, I think the most important traits are like, first and foremost, I think discipline, hard work, perseverance, and determination, and finally the will to succeed. If you have fire in your belly, and if you have that hunger for success, definitely you will succeed. But the thing is, see, day in and day out, you have to dress up and show up. Okay, like you can't see so many. You might have bad days. It might just be a bad day, so that or you might have some bad bosses or bad managers, and you just feel like quitting. So because everybody loves their job, I mean, otherwise you can't do it. But the one bad day or one bad manager, one criticism, and one more thing, I think the children of these days, they're not able to handle criticism well. So everybody is not going to pamper and praise you. So take the criticism also with a pinch of salt, because criticism is what will allow you to grow. So everybody is pampering you, everybody is saying, oh, you're the best in the world, best. That's not going to happen. So you have to come with an open mind every day. I mean, that's what I did. Even I wouldn't handle criticism. If somebody said this is not drafted well, no, I would take a serious objection to it. Oh, how can they say it's my draft? Then I learned everything, because I think you will learn on your own. Like everyday experience will be different. So how you behave with your peers, how you behave with your bosses, I think it's more than the knowledge. I think it's now handling people. So that also paves a great, determines your success. So you have to be a little more patient, not be reacting to every little thing. And even mails also, you have to have the email etiquette. If somebody says something, immediately, like somebody writes 4 lines, I'll write out some 40 lines and all that. So you should know how to control your temper, how to be. I think that's common in any industry, in any corporate. I think you have to have at least civil relationship, because if you're too sensitive, then you can't handle any criticism as well. So you have to be a team player. You have to be nice to your bosses. Even if you disagree, I think you can say in a polished way. So in that way, I was lucky. We never said yes to whatever the bosses say, because we are lawyers and we have to think. And we can't say, even if he's your boss, I will not say yes, because I'll say, no, I disagree. I think it has to be done this way. So they will take it. Slowly they'll take it. I think whenever you're a newbie, you have to just understand how the system works, because you have to adjust to the company. So the company functions in a certain way. They will never adjust to your style. So be patient, and the first job or second job, I think you have to work little. You can't just shift because you get few thousands higher. You can't keep on shifting from that. Doesn't reflect well. So study unless it's that bad, like you study the company, you get into the mood of working there, then see how the systems work there. So slowly you will progress. See, I don't think in any company I've worked less than 5 years. Okay, even if they're offering me higher salaries, I don't go. I say, okay, what difference can you make? See, the current generation, I think everybody is interested about. All my juniors I see in pay packets and all that. Pay packets will come, but also see what you are contributing. When you're learning, okay, you just learn. You can't expect high salaries in the beginning, and then, we are little old timers. That's what I feel. I think you have to stay longer in companies for you to understand the systems of the companies, and for you to make an impact. What difference are you making? Like, I feel every day you have to compete with yourself and be better than what you were yesterday. That's how you grow. That's been my style of working as well. And that's what has got me here and this award and all that, because I never knew, like I said, like I got this global panel speaking opportunities and all these awards and all that, because I was slowly and silently, literally in the corner, I was doing my work. But I was happy that the world took notice. And I think it's all my hard work, it just paid off one day. I never planned or aimed for this, like I have to be this, because those days we just went by the flow. Okay. And I also took care of my family, because my children have done very well. That's what I wanted to say, women, like, okay, don't give up. Like, okay, you can take a temporary break, because sometimes I don't believe that you can balance and all, work-life balance and all. Sometimes you need that 100 or even 200% for companies as well as your family. You can't just, when you can hire help, I think you should hire help. And for women, I think you need a supportive family. And because otherwise you get too stressed out, you lose your health in the quest for money. Then what is the point? So everywhere there has to be a balance. So my advice to women is take a break when it's required. Then you can always bounce back, and then you can continue your career. Because my children, my daughter is a pediatrician and my son works for Cisco. I think they've done extremely well in their careers also, despite me being a working woman. So I feel in this world, for everyone, there's an opportunity, and be patient, and your time will come. Thank you.
You have answered that question beautifully, Sharmila. Thank you so much for sharing such great insights with us. We look forward to have a chat with you again on the future on some trending topics in the international legal world. And for our viewers, if you like this chat with Sharmila K.R, please like, share this video, and also subscribe to Clickaway Creators YouTube channel to appreciate what we do. We have more coming up from the legal space. This is Raima from LexTalk World.